In this video, we will look at dividing a whole number by a decimal number using a base 10 shorthand drawing. The focus of the standard is using models, drawings, and strategies based on place value to compute problems. So here we will use a drawing to solve. The work that you see here, though, should come after students have worked with more concrete models to divide a whole number by a decimal, such as using and manipulating the base 10 pieces to solve. So let's take a look at dividing 6 by 1 and 2/10. Before we solve, we want to estimate so that we can make sure that our actual answer is reasonable. When I look at 6 divided by 1 and 2/10, I might think that I could just think about this as an estimated answer of 6 because 6 divided by 1 would give me 6. This lets me know that our answer will be around 6. However, I know it will actually be less than 6 since 6 is being divided into groups of 1 and 2/10 instead of just into groups of 1. So we're going to look at this as dividing 6 wholes into groups of 1 and 2/10. I'm going to begin by modeling 6 wholes with the base 10 shorthand. So that means that I would just draw 6 squares. Each one represents one whole. Now I know that I need to create groups of 1 and 2/10. So when I look at this model, I can see that I could keep this one whole, my first whole, just as it is to make a group of 1 and 2/10. But then I would want to decompose this next whole into tenths so that I could make a group that has one whole and 2/10. So I'm going to do that down below. I'm going to decompose the tenths. So again, I decomposed that whole into 10/10. And now I can circle one group of 1 and 2/10. So I have one whole and 2/10. I'm going to label that as group 1. So again, I'm trying to determine how many groups of 1 and 2/10 there are in 6 wholes. I see that I have more wholes remaining as well as additional tenths, so I can continue to circle groups of 1 and 2/10. I'm going to switch colors just so that it's clear, but I'm going to take this whole right here. I have one whole, and I'll grab these 2/10 to go with that one. So there I was able to make a second group of 1 and 2/10. Next, I'm going to take this whole here and see if I can make another group of 1 and 2/10. I sure can. I have one whole, and there's 2/10 to go in that group. So that's a third group that I was able to make. And I see that I still have some wholes left as well as some tenths, so I'm going to keep going. I can take this whole here, and I could group it with these 2/10. Whoops. Take those 2/10 right there. So that's a fourth group. And now I see that I have exactly one whole right there and 2/10 left. So I know that I can make one final group of one whole and 2/10. So one whole and 2/10 there. And this would be my fifth group. So again, I was able to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups. Each group has one whole and 2/10 in the group. And so I know that I have successfully divided 6 into groups of 1 and 2/10. And I can see that there are 5 groups. So this lets me know that 6 divided by 1 and 2/10 is equal to 5. I know that answer is reasonable. So when I estimated, I thought the answer would be around 6, but actually less than 6 since we were dividing 6 wholes into groups of 1 and 2/10, a little bit bigger groups than just groups of one whole. And again, this is how we can divide a whole number by a decimal number using a base 10 shorthand drawing.